On this week's Hot List, Power Push. Will Indonesia finally step up in the world this year as a world leader? Capital idea. Will the country's center of government really move to another island? And Paradise Lost. Does Indonesia make the list of the top 50 global destinations in 2026? Hello and welcome. This is Hot Indonesia, your weekly guide to what Indonesians are talking about. I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. Very happy to be back. And here are my co-hosts. Sandiaga Uno is the former Minister of Tourism, former Vice Governor of Jakarta, and proud dad.
Yes.
Yes, you are. And between the boys, Shanaz Suhartono, author, communicator, and secret singer. Maybe not so secret. That's what I heard. Okay. Hot topic number
with the
one.
Moonlight Show? No?
Maybe.
Okay.
Wow, secret singer.
Hot topic number one. Power push. Now, the global economy is projected to reach $126 trillion this year, according to the International Monetary Fund, with the United States still number one with a gross domestic product of 31.8. Indonesia, number 17 with GDP at $1.5 trillion, just behind Turkey and ahead of the Netherlands and Poland. With this output and the potential that's been talked about for decades, will 2026 be Indonesia's time to shine? Now, I say maybe. Indonesia's long-played peacemaker and facilitator, mediator rather than leader of the pack. But you know what? G20 member, leader of ASEAN, fourth largest population in the world. All these things we've talked about all these years, moderate Muslim majority. Sandy, doesn't President Prabowo Subianto have enough ammunition to have a bigger voice?
Yes, yes, and absolutely yes. We should play a much larger global role, and in particular, President Prabowo, who I spent a lot of time in 2019.
I heard that.
But like everything, timing is everything.
That's it.
So I was 5 years too early.
Okay.
And
that's another story. We'll talk about that someday soon.
I landed this gig again.
Yeah,
and
right.
I'm so happy we're back in Hot Indonesia.
Yes, sir.
We have a president who really spent a lot of time thinking about Indonesia's presence in the global scale. Indonesia's, the economy, the population speaks for itself, but for the last 10 years, we have not been very active internationally.
Because the past president was more of a domestic guy.
Because Pak Jokowi spent a lot of time building infrastructures locally and would basically appearing in the United Nations for the last 10 years. It was either the vice president or any other representative of the president.
And it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing to build infrastructure and to look.
Yeah. But now we're talking about a president who takes international trips, like going to Bogor, and he
Bogor is an international trip.
Yeah. No, I mean he goes to Moscow, Pakistan, and then back to Aceh
instead of Bogor. Yeah, okay.
So he's really focusing and would like to deliver a lot of influence that Indonesia could bring to the global communities.
Yeah, he's off to a good start already.
And not just investments, trade, but also green movements, how we could really be greater partners for peace. Indonesians have strong demography. And this is something that President Prabowo brings into the global scale.
Okay, speaking of what we have, we control major shipping lanes, crucial ones, have the biggest precious metals mines in the world, the huge human resource base, the pool. Why don't we have more of an impact in the global conversation, Shanaz?
I don't think I'm as optimistic as Bang Sandi here. I don't know. I feel I see things from I guess, a little more localized eyes, because I see the unemployment rate is still very high. Up until now, it's 4.85%, and the average wage of employees was 3.33 million rupiah. So I don't know. It's hard for me to be optimistic, because I've seen friends lost their jobs and everything. I don't know. Please help me to be a little more optimistic.
You're saying that the leaders don't focus, they should focus on domestic issues.
Yes,
that's what you're saying.
domestic issues.
Well, my DNA is an entrepreneur, so I'm a perennial optimist. It's my default. But she's hitting the right notes. Basically, we need to focus also on the local economy, whereby jobs are being created. Currently, not enough jobs are being created, and not better quality jobs are being created.
Even for us freelancers, it's
Right.
a bit hard for us to,
But
go
the
here and
question, the question is, should Indonesia play a larger role internationally? My answer is yes. But
Maybe that would help domestic issues too.
But that actually would help the domestic issues,
Right.
because bringing in investments, getting the economy grow at a much faster rate would create good quality jobs.
Yeah.
And keeping inflations in check, cost of living being affordable by bringing in the best of technology, infrastructure that provides connectivity, that would be also a big job to do
And you know
for
what?
the leadership.
Yeah, good point, San. Now, maybe we are where we should be. Maybe it's where we always will be, a middle power, neutral facilitator among the world superpowers that surround us, especially with the China-U.S. dynamic that Indonesia seems to be in the middle and doesn't want to get in anybody's way. So should we be content with that, Shanaz? Is that good enough for Indonesia to be the middle power?
I don't know. Should we be content? I think we should be content in everything that we do, but I don't know. Speaking from my point of view as a citizen of Indonesia, I don't think it's enough what the government is doing. But yeah, I think we're heading the right way. But I don't know if they already do enough, or if somehow we're on the right path toward that largest economy growth.
Well, I mean, if we're not doing enough, earlier you said domestic should be the focus,
Yeah.
but as Sandy pointed out, growing your international relationships, international business
that's also
will
important.
raise revenue that could help us domestically.
Of course.
So you think it's okay to be where we are right now?
Yeah, I guess so. Because
She's saying that we are at the right path, but at the wrong speed.
perhaps it's
We
a bit
need
slow.
to accelerate.
It's a bit
and
slow.
being in the middle is already written in our constitutions.
But do you
Our founding fathers said that we need to be active internationally, but we should not take sides.
But do you have any prediction?
Like
in terms of in what year should we reach
Well,
that?
I'm hoping this year that it takes
I'm
a step.
hoping 2026.
Yeah, I mean,
this
can't
is the
wait
beginning
for-
of the year.
I mean, 20 years ago when I was at CNN, I interviewed global leaders in this region. They said, oh, Indonesia has the best potential. Within 5 years, we're going to be the big superpower. 20 years later, where are we? Okay, last quick point, Sandy. I want to ask you this. You know the man close up, as you said, you ran for the presidency with him as vice president. Do you see himself asserting himself even more in world affairs as he gets further into this job?
Yes, I think this is something that he's very good at. He speaks like 4 or 5 languages, and he's very comfortable in the world setting. But because he is being comfortable outside, that doesn't mean the domestic issues would not be taken care. So I think it's a little bit of not work-life balance, but work-work balance. Domestic and international balance would be really something that he should focus on.
Every president wants to do that, whether they can or have the ability or the will of the people to do it. That's another thing. We're going to talk about this shortly. Hot Indo will continue. Capital idea. Will the seat of government ever move to the jungles of East Kalimantan?
Hi, I'm Pipit. I'm watching the Indonesia Channel in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Hi, I'm Paul Kitamura, and I'm watching the Indonesia Channel in Singapore.
Hi, I'm Aryani and I'm watching the Indonesia Channel in Melbourne, Australia.
Hi, I'm Handi Kurniawan and I'm watching the Indonesia Channel in Hong Kong.
Hi, I'm Khan, and I watch the Indonesia Channel here in sunny Tokyo.
Hi, my name is George Wolf, and I watch the Indonesia Channel here in Germantown, Maryland.
Hi, I'm Sezai Zorlu, and I watch the Indonesia Channel here in Istanbul, Turkey.
You are watching Hot Indonesia with Shanaz, Sandy, and me. Hot topic number 2, capital idea. It was to be the former president's legacy project, moving the seat of government out of Jakarta to East Kalimantan, 1,200 kilometers and one island north. Approved in 2022 at a cost of $32 billion, the timeline and budget for Nusantara have changed. It is supposed to take 10 years, and the budget has risen to $45 billion. Now, the government of President Prabowo says the project is still on, but funding has already been cut, transferred to other projects. Shanaz, first to you, the reasons for the move are reasonable, I think. Jakarta is overburdened, shifting wealth from Java to other regions, more national unity. All of these reasons were given. Good enough for you?
I guess so, but it's very much ambitious, I think. Since
Ambitious or overly ambitious?
Overly ambitious, I might say.
Okay, don't let me put words in your mouth now.
But still, I think Jakarta is sinking anyway, but...
sinking now, for those who don't know,
Yeah.
the geologists say that the capital
Jakarta is
is
sinking, right?
But that's like hundreds of years. We won't get wet in our lifetimes, right?
Right.
Well, talk to the people in the northern part of Jakarta,
Already.
because it's 7 millimeters a year, and they're like now more than 1 meter below the water line.
Okay. That's the reason I mentioned. But anyway, what were you saying?
But I think it's overly ambitious, and I don't know, with the change of the government and the budget cut, I don't know if I'm a very pessimistic lady, but I don't know.
No, I think you're optimist, but you're realistic. That's the
I guess
difference.
so.
Yeah.
I guess so. But I'm still hoping for the best, though, because we've seen all the buildings and stuff, and it's already standing there. I mean, we don't want that to go to waste, right?
Well, we have pillars for the light rail that are still standing in the
Yeah.
Senayan district that never were built. That's another subject. Okay, no, Sandy, okay, you were vice governor under Anies Baswedan back in 2017. Were discussions held back then about this very topic, and were you in favor of it?
It was there was a discussions, and it was campaign material in 2019, and when Jokowi was re-elected, he put that into law. So I think everybody was moving in unison, including my ministry was already having program for the capital to be moved over there. We're creating holiday destinations. We're creating Center for Creative Economies. But I think we have to be realistic. Right now, the focus is not there. The president has not spoken about the issue for quite some time. It will take some time, like Canberra, take more than 60 years to get it moved from Sydney to Canberra. So the answer is yes and no. Not in the next maybe 5 to 10 years.
And that's a term of the present government.
5 to 10 years.
Gradually, and I think it will be more symbolic, I think more political, rather than, because finance and economy will still going to be in Jakarta.
Yeah, like New York and Washington, D.C. You mentioned Canberra. It's been done successfully in other countries. In Rio, the capital was Rio in Brazil. They moved to Brasilia, and other examples are available. But the new capital, in other places, a new capital is a ghost town. I mean, for example, in Myanmar. Naypyidaw. When lawmakers are not meeting, they empty out and they go back to their homes in the original capital. So, Shanaz, what do you think would make Nusantara a thriving city? What could make it a success if it's not just lawmakers and their families?
I don't know. I think it's the infrastructure is there, but I don't know if I asked some of my friends that already have a little project there. Actually, my I think my cousin also, he was there for quite some time, and he said that there are no projects there because it's so hard to go to places there, and it's so hard for them to look for food. And it's not like living in Jakarta. So if it
literally was in the jungles, right?
Yeah.
They had to carve out this place.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take a lot of sacrifices from the young generations, especially Gen Zs. And this cousin of mine is, I think he's a Gen Z, and he's like, but it's so hard, and they kind of complain about that. So if it's not like livable there,
and
like
jobs.
I suppose that
Besides
jobs
working for the
there,
government,
projects.
they talked about having new economy stuff, new industries there to attract people. But I haven't heard anybody moving there yet as far as industry and business.
And like voluntarily want to move there.
Yeah, nobody's going to do that yet. Now, I've talked informally with ambassadors from other countries, and they are not supporters of the move, not big supporters, and you can imagine why. They'd have to spend money on moving their embassies, and their constituents would have to make a flight and a drive to get there. It's not easy to get to there because there's no airport in that particular town.
Not yet. The airport is built, but it's not yet operating.
Okay, now, San, if the government wants to get out of making this move, how could they do that?
Well, it has been made into law,
Yes.
so I think the lawmakers needs to put together a very, very strong discourse about this, because we went through it 5 years ago, and everybody was very agreeable at that time.
Oh, yeah?
And it's
Well, you got to support your president.
politically, the cycle is, as you know, political cycle is every 5 years, and this is now not the focus of everybody with the unfortunate natural disasters in northern part of Sumatra. Our hearts and prayers goes to our friends and families over there. So this is not the topic that would be top of the mind of the people of Indonesia.
I don't think it'll happen.
But when
I don't think it'll happen.
you ask how we get people there, basically there are two things: jobs.
Yeah.
If the jobs are there, people will come there. Second, money. If the money is available, let's say if we build green economies, because if you talk about epicentrums of green economy, tropical rainforests, when you want to restore the peatland and making sure that we produce the right carbon credit, it must be Kalimantan.
Yeah, and these are down the road, though. See, they're not immediate fixes or immediate attractions.
It will take some time.
Let me finish my thought. I don't think this will happen because, to me, as you mentioned, budget items take priority, such as natural disasters, which you cannot predict, but also like his free lunches for school kids.
Yes.
They diverted money, and who will argue against that?
Yeah,
and so that's more important to me than moving lawmakers in another place. So, to me, let time pass. Yeah, let time. Nobody talk about it. Funds to help citizens directly go to where it should go. Announce that it was a good idea, and postpone it to an indefinite date, and then it'll be forgotten until the next administration, maybe.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's see if it happens. More Hot Indo is ahead. Paradise Lost. Do we make the top 50 list of where visitors want to go?
We're the world's fourth biggest country, a global export leader, and home to more Muslims than anywhere else.
So you need to know what's going on here in Indonesia.
From the capital, Jakarta, we bring you the important news, business, and weather stories in 3 minutes.
And because you're on the go, we deliver it directly to where you are. Watch us on mobile device, computer, or TV.
Indonesia News Break on the hour, every hour.
You're watching Hot Indonesia from Jakarta. Hot topic number 3, Paradise Lost. Lists are out projecting the top tourist destinations for 2026. And the global platform Travel and Tour World says Asia leads the top 50, with Japan, no surprise, in the number 1 spot for its, quote, seamless harmony of ancient traditions. Number 2 and 3, Canada and Ireland, a little surprising to me. Singapore is at number 13, Thailand number 15, the US at number 20, Indonesia number 39, ahead of the Philippines, but behind neighbors Malaysia and Vietnam. Now, TTW says Indonesia's cultural diversity and island traditions placed it in the top 50. But Sandy, behind Malaysia, is it product or is it marketing? You were tourism minister.
We should do much better on both, because in the World Economic Forum Travel and Tourism Development Index, we are number 22, ahead of Malaysia, ahead of the Philippines. But this is a very, very thorough survey, and only Singapore is ahead of us. That means we need to do better marketing, we need to communicate that we have a better product. Quality and sustainability is our focus. And then we have Borobudur, we have Komodo, and we have definitely Bali, which is like the top destinations in the world. So I believe that if we do more...
We have the product, is what you're saying. Is it branding then?
We need to push more, we need to work harder, and I think everybody, including the current government, you should have the minister here.
We will.
She is very, very good.
That'd be good.
And we should really tell the world that we have the products.
I heard
we will improve the connectivity, because flights coming here is still a challenge.
You had a lot of unfinished business before you left, but and she has a big job ahead. Now you just came back from the U.S. for your holidays, and I know your reasons. You have family there, but Shanaz, you wished you went overseas, but you stayed home to take care of here, family and friends. What factors do you look for when you go overseas? How do you choose your destinations?
I choose something. I always choose my destination, somewhat very much different from Indonesia. I always go some place, where I can feel like they're a different culture. So, if you ask me what is my dream destination, I'd say Iceland.
That's very different. A little chilly. I mean, is safety or any of those kind of factors the more?
I guess so, because I have a son, and safety comes first, and then comfort, I think.
Yeah, and something different. That's the main thing. And I think we have a lot of things people in the world have never seen, but we got to tell them where to go, right? Like the largest statue of Jesus in the world. I bet you most people don't know that in Lake Toba. Yeah, in Lake Toba. I in case you asked, which you didn't, but I stayed in Jakarta for the Christmas and New Year's holidays, and I did hear what I could do anywhere else, in my opinion. And maybe someday as many visitors will fly in while the locals fly out. And that's what we hope. Okay? Now, it is feedback time, and Margot in Hong Kong posted this on the return of Hot Indonesia. So cool. And Paul in Sydney said this: great to see you back on air. Here's how to contact us with your feedback. Email us at hotindo@theindonesiachannel.world, or comment through our Hot Indonesia channel, Twitter, Facebook, or X, I should say, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Final words, Shanaz.
It's 2026, so I think I want to say take it easy, everybody. I know it's the time to say like new year, new me, but it's okay if you stay the old you. But yeah, just take it easy on yourself.
Be cool.
Be cool.
Final word, Sandy.
Great to be back. Congratulations, Dalton and Hot Indonesia. And congratulations also for Jakarta, the biggest mega city in the world according to UN and World Bank. So congratulations, the citizens of Jakarta. You are now part of the biggest city in the world.
And my final words. We talked earlier about Indonesia's global role. Gotta mention Venezuela, where last week the United States captured Venezuela's president for alleged drug crimes, in a secret military operation. The right thing to do? Maybe. Legal? No. Indonesia and other countries have already expressed grave concerns over this unilateral action. No one wants an outsider coming into their house to solve domestic problems. And that is Hot Indonesia for this week. For Shanaz Suhartono and Sandy Uno, I'm Dalton Tanaraka. Thank you for watching, and please join us next time.